Welcome back, times and newcomers alike, to Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Last episode, we went through the second part of court, met a really weird witness, and Trucy has been kidnapped. What are we going to do here? Let's figure this out. I suppose I have no choice but to adjourn for a 20-minute recess. Bailiff, catch that mysterious man. To be continued right now. Yes, here we go. Serve for the win. Aw, yeah. June 16th, 11:17, District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Trucy! Trucy!
You move quick, Apollo. Good show, good show.
Trucy, you're okay. I thought...
Don't cry, Apollo.
Those good-for-nothing gangsters. There are some things you just don't do. I'm pressing charges.
Wait! Just calm down, Apollo. Or else.
Oh, really? Ah, what the heck is that?
Surprised? This is one of my best tricks. The amazing Mr. Hat.
Mr. Hat. You look marvelous, darling.
He's a big hit on stage at the Wonder Bar.
Yes, I am a big hit.
Well, what do you think? Do you like it?
You mean you... Trucy, there's some things you just don't do. I'm pressing charges.
Apollo! Now is not the time to be threatening me!
I can't believe you're trying to press charges against Trucy.
It's you who's being threatened here.
Huh?
Remember what you said to Waukie's father yesterday? You promised you'd save his son.
But that testimony was rock solid. What are you suggesting I do?
Look, once the judge declares a verdict, it's all over. If I can use my talent to stop that from happening, I will.
Trucy, no more staged abductions, please.
I'm not talking about magic, Apollo. I know when the witness isn't confident. I can perceive what he's feeling.
Wait, so she has basically the same thing as Apollo?
It might not mean anything, but it's all we got.
You can see what he's feeling?
Think back, Apollo. Think back to the times when there was a contradiction in his testimony. All the times.
All the times there was a contradiction? I remember. Well, I think I remember them, sure.
There were 2 times when he made statements he wasn't confident in. And each time there was a contradiction.
In his hand he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene.
He said the man tossed aside a pistol. But it turned out that he wasn't sure. And sure enough, there was a contradiction.
Well, that's true, but how does that help us?
Didn't you notice anything? Whenever he made a statement he wasn't confident in, he displayed a certain habit.
In his hand he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand.
Did you see it? The very moment he said the word pistol, his fingers got all tense, and he fiddled with the corner of a page in his book.
How am I supposed to see that?
Well, I could see it. How else do you think Daddy went 7 years without losing a game of poker?
Dang, she's just a big old cheater, isn't she? What?
I always sat next to Daddy during big matches. I could see what his opponents were feeling.
You mean that's how Mr. Wright won all those games? That is so cheating.
It's not cheating officially. I wasn't looking at their hands or anything. I wasn't there all the time either.
That's quite debatable, but okay.
Daddy's quite good at poker after all. Not good enough to go undefeated that long.
Great, so we cheated, but what did that do for us? I don't believe this.
You have to listen to his testimony one more time! No, scratch that. You have to watch his testimony. Perceive the truth.
Watch a testimony? Perceive the truth? The only thing I'm perceiving is that I'm going to lose.
Not true. Daddy said so. He said you have the power, Apollo.
So Apollo is He-Man? I have the power! Mr. Wright said that? Watch the testimony. Perceive his true feelings. Is she serious?
Time's up. I can't think of any other way out of this one, Apollo.
Well, I suppose you can't really try the same trick twice. That would be bad. What was that she said before the trial started? Mr. Wright's not here today?
He said his old foot injury was acting up. Yes, he smiled when he said we'd be fine.
As long as you're here, Trucy.
Is this what he meant by us being fine? Well, methods aside, she did avoid one guilty verdict already today. Time to show this court what I'm made of. Get ready for justice! Let's do it.
Apollo!
You know, I'm starting to think I can do this.
I knew you could do it all along! Oh, one more thing.
Mr. Hat!
Try to cover for Mr. Hat as best you can.
I just flew in from the coast and boy am my arms tired! Right. Wah, 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 wah. June 16th, 1140, District Court, Courtroom number 4. Mr. Hat. Court is now back in session. Right, we're fine. Aha. I'd like to say to the young lady standing next to you, Mr. Justice.
Oh, you mean me?
Don't you have anything to report? Anything concerning the mysterious phantom in the silk top hat? Ah, right, him. Don't worry about him. I settled that. You settled that? Yes, it was the out-of-court settlement. Right.
Perhaps Fräulein would have us believe it was nothing more than a passing dream. A fantastic illusion. Now you see it, and now you don't. Am I right?
Geez, Klavier is smarter than he looks. Uber.
I think he's on to me.
Yeah. I wish he would stop being so cool.
Let us dispense with these niceties and get straight to the matter. What are your plans for our gifted witness?
Right. The defense would like to request another cross-examination. Because I forget to ask something. There was no issue with the witness's previous testimony. I will grant your request, however, but this court will not permit stalling for time or the beard will destroy you and set you aflame. Understood, Your Honor.
Don't forget, Apollo. When he isn't sure about something, he has a habit of fiddling with his book.
Oh, I will not forget, Trucy. I will not forget.
I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene. Nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police.
Oh, he's fiddling with it there. He had to have been.
Until the police arrived at the scene, 10 minutes later, I saw no one else.
Well, I know which part to press. I'm not sure I'm qualified to watch testimonies after all.
Focus, Apollo! Find his weak spot.
Focus. If only it were that easier. So you have this giant enemy stickler and you attack his weak point for massive damage. My ears hear what he says, my eyes see his expression. Do I have to do something more? What other senses do I have? The drug sense, dang it! Use the drugs! Use them! Whoa! What's this? My bracelet! Woo! Inversion! What's going on? My bracelet feels different somehow.
I think Daddy was right! You can see it, can't you, Apollo? You're almost there! Find the weak spot in his testimony!
I know this sounds crazy, but my bracelet is trying to tell me something, so call me maybe. Just kidding. From shot to call, here we go. Could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene, nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. There we go, I used my cell phone to call the police. Press! So, you called immediately after witnessing the murder.
The police undoubtedly have a record of the call. Why not check with them?
Wait, Apollo! This has to be it!
Wait, you mean his habit?
Don't forget, Apollo. When he isn't sure about something, he has a habit of fiddling with his book.
The only time he even had the book open was here. Which means this is the place you look for his habit. I don't know how I know, but I know.
Know what?
It's my bracelet. It's different somehow. I can feel it reacting to something about the witness.
Your bracelet?
Oh, it showed up on the side window. We gotta use it. I'm not sure I get this focus stuff you were talking about, Trucy. But I have a feeling that trusting my bracelet is the way to go. Okay, I just need to touch my bracelet as it reacts to the testimony. So I shall. What's going on? I can see the witness's face, his expression so clearly. It's filling my mind. Oh, get it out, get it out. I can see nothing else, hear nothing else.
Apollo!
Trucy, what's happening to me?
This is what I meant by focusing.
Focusing?
In this state, you can see everything, Apollo. Everything the witness does.
That's great, but this is kind of freaking me out.
Just look for Mr. Stickler's twitch. His habit. You remember it, right?
Sure, when he says something he's not sure of, he fiddles with a page of his book.
You got it. Right now, you're looking at the witness's face. And your eyes are sort of bugging out.
Your eyes are sort of bugging out? That's creepy. I'll bet they are. No!
First, move your focus of attention down to Mr. Stickler's hand.
Move your attention lower, and lower. Not that low, you pervert. His hand?
You know what to look for now, but you have to be looking at the right place.
She's right. I can only see his face like this. Time to try changing my viewpoint. Do-do-do-do. Do-do. Do-do.
Perfect!
Do-do.
Now you're ready.
Ready for what?
Ready to perceive the truth behind his twitch.
Ready for love. Just kidding. Perceive. With the drums.
Try listening to the witness talk as you focus. Then, watch for his habit.
Right. You mean when he fiddles with a page?
That's right. That's your signal to look closer. To perceive. Find his weak spot, and I guarantee we'll be able to give him the royal flush.
Spoken like a true pokerhead's daughter.
I'm a magician, thank you very much. Do I look like a poker player?
So I have to pay attention to his words. And his fingers.
Don't worry if you miss it. You can always try again.
Right. Look out, nervous twitch. Here comes justice. Perceive! Gotcha! Oh yeah! I saw it. Just now I could see it. Mr. Justice, do you have something to say?
Oh, all this banging of discs is quite bad for my circulation, you know.
Mr. Stickler, allow me to ask you a simple question. Why did you fiddle with the page of your book just now? The very moment you mentioned your cell phone.
What are you talking about?
I'm curious now about this cell phone of yours. Mind if I ask a few questions? What to ask, what to ask? Can I have your number? Has to see his phone. Mr. Stickler, please show me your cell phone.
Why? Whatever for?
Show me, and you'll find out.
Well, I can't. I don't have it, you see.
You don't have it? Mr. Stickler, is this your cell phone? The pink one, really? Holy crap.
Yow! What did you get that?
That's the phone from yesterday.
I think you know what that means. Look, a cell phone.
Someone dropped it beneath this tire. If the car moved, it'd be crushed for sure.
I wonder if it belongs to the doctor here. How strange, Mr. Stickler. Can you explain why your cell phone is sitting here in my hand at this very moment? Wait a minute, what is the meaning of this? This cell phone was found yesterday in the Maractus Clinic garage. The Maractus? Why, that's where the victim lived.
That's impossible.
Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court, didn't you? If your cell phone is here, how could you have called the police?
It's true. I didn't have my cell phone that night.
Listen to this sad music playing, good God.
That is why I can't be said that I called the police from a public payphone.
A payphone? So you didn't call on your cell phone after all. Just where was this payphone located, Mr. Stickler?
Well, it indicates with a startling high degree of accuracy. It was right around here.
That's quite a ways from the park. But, why did you lie? There can be only one reason. He didn't want the court to know he had lost his cell phone. Because it was found in the victim's garage.
What are you saying?
I think you know where this is going, Mr. Stickler. Mr. Stickler, you broke into the Maractus Clinic garage on the night of the murder. The cell phone tells all!
But that's ridiculous. That makes it sound like I snuck into this fellow's garage to commit some crime. As though I were trying to kill him.
Wow, Dr. Maractus was killed that night.
Well, yes, but no! This line of reasoning has to be against the rules. Yes, it's true, I lost my cell phone. But you can't prove that I lost it that night.
Well, Mr. Justice, if that cell phone was dropped the night of the murder, it does raise considerable suspicions as to a connection with the crime.
Now's your chance, Apollo. Connect Mr. Stickler to the crime.
Oh, he's already connected enough. I just have to prove it. Well, do I have a piece of evidence that can do the job? Can I prove the cell phone was dropped on the night of the murder? Yes, we do. Of course I have evidence.
Ooh, I like your swagger for it. Hit it.
The court will see this evidence, Mr. Justice. Hit it, as they say. Evidence that proves the cell phone was dropped on the night of the murder is... Trucy's panties! Wow, Prosecutor Gavin.
No comment, Judge.
Wait, was I wrong? No, what? I was wrong?
Apollo, remember where we found that cell phone? If it had fallen on the ground before that night.
That's right. The cell phone would have been crushed. Your Honor, one more chance, please. Mr. Justice, keep this up and you'll run yourself out of a life's worth of chances. God, talk about a buzzkill. I was so sure that was right, too. Alright. Okay, so I'm assuming that it was the car mirror, correct? That's a side view mirror. As it so happens, Dr. Maractus' car was in an accident. That took place the night of the murder.
An accident?
An accident. It happened a little after 9 p.m., just outside People Park, our murder scene. Dr. Maractus' car hit a pedestrian.
What are you trying to say?
From the absence of a mirror, it's clear that the car was parked after the accident. Which means it was parked there after 9 p.m. on the night of the murder. If your cell phone had been dropped before the car was parked in that garage, then it would have been crushed. After all, it was lying on the ground right under the wheel. Ergo, Mr. Stickler, the only time you could have dropped this in that garage was after 9 p.m. the night of the murder in the park. Mr. Stickler, you know what this means. You did break into the victim's garage that night. This is most unexpected. Mr. Justice, are you naming the witness as a suspect in the murder of Pal Maractus?
No, stop. This is too much. This can't be happening. Prosecutor, say something.
I suppose it is worth saying this. No connection has been found between Wesley Stickler and Pal Maractus. That is, other than this.
I believe our next testimony will be most revelatory. Is the witness prepared?
Yes, Your Honor.
I know that face. That's the face of guilt.
The face of shame.
Let's do this crap. Stickler's truth.
That night, yes, I went to the supermarket. I must have dropped my cell phone on my way back. And when I was walking through the park, I happened to witness the crime. I saw the killer, the victim, the stand, all as clear as day. It was him. I saw the defendant at the scene.
Yes, but your cell phone was lying in a garage.
Ah, yes. Well, as you can see, my model of cell phone has a defect.
A defect that it just gets up and walks into garages?
It is given to rolling. It is quite a pain when I drop it alongside the road, you know.
The thing's a square. How can you say it has a defect of rolling? Looks like a normal cell phone to me. In any case, Mr. Justice, cross-examination, please. That's funny. My bracelet didn't react at all during that testimony.
His nervous habit must not be acting up. I didn't sense anything either, actually. Looks like you're on your own this time around.
Right, no problem. I hope. Here comes justice. Again. Stickler's truth. You went to the supermarket. I must have dropped my cell phone on my way back, and when I was walking through the park, I happened to witness the crime. Press! Which entrance did you enter the park from?
Well, to be exact, one might say that I went in the front from the entrance closest to the Maractus Clinic.
The same entrance our victim used.
Did you notice anything when you entered? Wheel marks from a noodle stand, for instance?
I have no recollection of such a thing, no. Yet, though I might have missed the tracks, I could not miss what happened next. I am a keen observer. Of the obvious, you might say.
I saw the killer, the victim, the stand, all as clear as day. And I think this one might have to do with the map. Objection! No? Okay, it's not the map. All as clear as day. Oh, I remember what we have to do here. Press. This part of the testimony is the key. I know it. Should I press him about the killer, the victim, or the noodle stand? Press him about the noodle stand. Do you happen to remember the noodle stand?
Quite well, yes. For a student of the sciences, keen observations and healthy curiosity are vital. I remember everything. I could even read the sign. I believe it said, noodle. Yes, that was it.
Wrong! For remembering something quite well, it sure took you a while to tell us. And thank you for telling us that a noodle stand sells noodles. Very enlightening, the bear thinks you're an idiot. Well, Mr. Justice. What about that sign? Could it be important? Yes, because he didn't see it right. So the sign in the noodle stand said noodle. It appears the defense has just obtained a vital piece of testimony. Is this noodle stand's broth really that delicious? I'll have to go sample the wares of one of these days and dip my beard in it, yes. I think that's worth adding to the testimony as well.
Whatever sort of noodles that stand sells, it can't match up to IVU's cafeteria.
Somebody should put a sound clip of Elduin saying, "Your cafeteria sucks!"
Some apply to the school merely for a taste of our smart noodles.
I wouldn't mind a taste of that myself. Giggity. Why, I even remember the sign on the stand of the victim was fully, it said noodle. Bull crap, because the sign said Elduin. And you're absolutely sure the sign read noodle?
Why, just last week my professor offered me this praise. At least you have a good eyesight, Stickler. I'll give you that. It read, without a doubt, Noodle.
I see.
Why are you looking at me like that? Is that pity I see in your eyes?
Let's take a look at our map, shall we? So, you're claiming that when you saw the sign, you were standing... here, was it? Although it would have been a bit hard to read the sign from this spot.
You think so?
Mr. Stickler, I'd like you to please take another look at this stand. And to carefully read what the sign says. See? The sign actually states the name of the stand's owner. Eldoons.
Inconceivable! I am certain it was definitely Noodle for sure. Positive.
I'm afraid your professor was wrong about that eyesight. I wouldn't be so quick to jump to that conclusion. The sign he saw changes everything. The witness says the sign said noodle. And he saw it right. What would you say if I told you that there is one spot from which the sign would be read the way Mr. Stickler claims?
What?
Mr. Dutcher, show us the spot. The witness actually viewed the stand from this location. The other side, correct? I believe it would have been here, right? Let's see. The witness was standing here, on the opposite side. How do we know that? When viewed from the south, the sign on the stand reads Eldoons, as we know. And from the north it reads Snoodles. It reads Snoodle. However, observe the other side of the stand. Oh, this side has Noodle. Exactly. The name of the stand is split between the front and back signs. Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court. You witnessed the crime from the northern side of the park, not the south.
You got me.
So what?
So what?
What does it matter if he saw the killing from the north or the south side? It makes no difference at all.
He's right. Travel far enough to the south and you will end up going north. Viewed on a global scale, directions are utterly without meaning.
Actually, maybe he's right. What does it change?
It changes everything, Apollo.
Trucy?
Remember his testimony from before? Though, to be honest, I'm a little scared of where this is leading. The killer and the victim are facing each other here. Then, at the moment the killer raises his weapon, Mr. Stickler shouts. At which point, the victim turns his head to look. And the killer fires his pistol. That's why the bullet hit him in the right temple. No contradictions, right?
Right. But if Mr. Stickler was standing on the north side of the park, that reverses the whole scenario.
Completely. If Mr. Stickler shouts from where he is now, and the victim looks in his direction, the bullet would have hit his left temple.
The bear needs no pair of underwear.
In other words, someone standing at point K could shoot the victim in his right temple. It's impossible.
That's right.
So, now that we know that Mr. Stickler was standing on the northern side, the wound location takes on an entirely different meaning.
Indeed. You are absolutely correct, Floyd.
What meaning?
The entry wound was on the right side of the victim's head, correct? Well, the right side of the victim's head is north.
North. Ah! But that's where the witness Wesley Stickler was standing.
Correct. So if he was standing to the north, then the only person here who could have shot the victim in the right temple was Mr. Stickler himself.
Order, order, order! Wow, the apples didn't fall far from the tree. She's flipped this whole case on its head while I was still figuring it out.
Clarify 1 point for me if you would, Forehead.
What now?
Are you truly accusing this college student of murder?
Well, I can't say he exactly looks innocent, but something still doesn't feel right. I just can't picture him as the real killer.
No, please, look aside. I'm a really nice guy. All my friends say so.
You have no friends, Mr. Stickler. Let's hear what the defense has to say. What are you going to do now, Justice? Should I really accuse Mr. Stickler? No, another crime. I don't think Wesley Stickler is a killer, but he's not innocent either. His usual silence tells me that much. Mr. Stickler, you seem unusually quiet. Tell us why now!
The word confession isn't in my dictionary.
Forehead. I'm afraid it falls to you to elucidate Stickler's silence.
Mr. Justice, you did say you were accusing the witness just now. For a crime other than murder. Your reason? The court's all ears. Yeah, I know he's guilty of something, but what crime is other than murder is there? Do I have evidence that shows his involvement in some other crime? Your evidence? The court's all eyes, Mr. Justice. Show us evidence that points to the witness's involvement in the crime. Now we present the panties. The evidence is this! What is that? Women's underwear?
Hey, those are mine.
Don't look at me like that!